It's like the Pelicans this year, like obviously Borrego, we just showed some articles on the screen with the Lakers and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I agree with DC. I think Cavaliers would probably be a better place for James Borrego to build that team. Well, I mean, this team was they'll be good out the gate. Not far less pressure. But I think like in terms of what the Pelicans are going to do, David Griffin's gonna swing for the fences. I mean, he has an even quieter guy that'll take over the general manager position and this Bryce.
How
So
wait? How you? I don't understand this, Q. How do you become quieter than the guy who don't speak?
he did
I keep asking this, Q. How does it get quieter than the mind?
because the thing is, like I said, y'all got to see what we be saying about y'all think, and I make a lot of jokes about some of these people. I really do. I be joking my ass off about them, but that's to stop from crying most of the time. The reality is like with the Pelicans, man. The Pelicans. I just did a show earlier today uh, with the New Orleans Saints, and it's ran by the same. It's the same leadership group, if you won't call it that. And the people at the top of the team don't know about the sports that they are attached to. Gail doesn't know enough about football or basketball to be a real force in a discussion with the team. The top executive is a guy that has the title as a basketball and football president of operations, VP. He's the president, but this guy really, and that's why I was saying that if they're serious about being a functional organization, they need to change the architecture of how the team is made, the structure of the
Mhm.
business side of the team.
For sure.
Uh, Dennis Lucia needs to be changed into a he needs to be changed into a chief executive officer or a chief financial officer, and there needs to be another basketball mind, maybe two, because I go
No,
two.
minds with the
Right,
Z at the end.
yeah, you got to have two because you got to have a president that knows about basketball and a vice president and another vice president. You need a combine of guys at the top that know about basketball on the Pelican side and football on the Saints side. It's the same thing that's screwing the team up because you're over relying on one person to make the correct decision, not kicking away Swin Cash. 'Cause I really think Swin should actually be the vice president of basketball operation because she's impeccable. Me and DC was talking about this the other day, Lex. When we were in did the research on Swin, she's a perennial winner.
Mhm.
Everywhere she
She's a
went,
champ.
she won. She's a champion.
Yeah.
She won everywhere. She got Olympic medals. She won championships in college. She won
Yeah.
championships in the NBA. She
Mhm.
she's a perennial winner. She accomplished championships at every level of her career. She is who we want to be leading this team. David Griffin is a flim flam man. He got one championship with Cleveland, and that's because LeBron James was telling him
Yeah.
who to pick up. We
Yeah.
know this. I know this, and I know this, and like we catalog so much on the show about the decisions that David Griffin had made since he been here. Hiring Stan Van Gundy, that was dumb. No smart general manager would have pulled a man who hadn't coached in years out of retirement to coach for the team. Unless it's Phil Jackson, I would take a shot on that, but not no Stan Van Gundy. He ain't do shit. And then you didn't fire Gentry in your first. That is not something a smart VP would do. And then he collects these people. No disrespect to Trajan Langdon, he got smart enough to leave up out of here. This other Bryce kid probably is going to be quieter than him. You can't be a quiet general manager with a vocal VP like David Griffin because he likes to talk. He likes to be seen. Look at me. I'm the VP. I'm a VP of an NBA basketball team. Those guys, you shouldn't even know who they are. You know who they are, but you don't see them. You shouldn't even see that guy unless he's standing up next to the general manager when he holding the press conference and the media wants to ask him a question. But he wants the job. And look at me. Look at me. I want to be seen. I'm David Griffin. I picked that guy and that guy. No, man, whoever the general manager is going to be, it got to be a vocal dude that speaks up, or he's not going to get credit for none of the moves that the team make at all. But he'll get all of the blame. And eventually, if the team fails, he'll be the guy that gets fired. It won't be Griffin. Griffin will lean on, well, you the general manager. I could fire your ass and then stick another quiet guy. So I mean, in the end, man, it has to be. That's why I'm saying because you're gonna more than likely lose Borrego. You already lost. We lost Trajan. BI's on the trade block. People was asking me, Q, why are we talking so much about BI? Why not CJ? Well, nobody wants CJ right now. Nobody wants CJ McCollum right now. He's not a hot button issue, even though he had a phenomenal year in
He
shooting the three.
was when he was at Portland.
Right. But nobody want it's no people beating the Pelicans door down for a trade for CJ McCollum making $30+ million a season as old
Yeah,
as, despite the
yeah.
fact that he shot the lights out with the ball. There's nobody beating the door down for
I mean, but
trade.
he's
I
still
him
an
being a
expiring
option.
Q. Maybe not
I hear you, DC, but hold on.
this year, but next year.
I'm going somewhere. I'm gonna give y'all the floor, but I just
Okay.
wanted to say this, and I'm gonna turn it over to y'all. This is the thing. That's why I'm expecting this to happen. I'm expecting them to make a move, and the move is going to be a flashy move because it's David Griffin. He's going to make a flashy move,
Is
and
he?
yes, that's one thing you can't say about the octopus. That he's going to make a splashy move. Now, what that
Well,
splashy move is, one or two things.
I hope
It'll
it's
be
the right one.
it'll be
you
the
forgetting
trade.
one thing, Q,
It'll be the
before you
Trey
get to
Young.
your move.
Say again.
Yeah, so you forgetting one thing, man. It don't
Hold up.
matter who it is. They gonna implement what's your word you created? Just like Mickey Loomis, the excuse matrix is coming. Oh, whoever we get, it was
Oh,
their first year. They had to get acclimated. That's the shit we go ahead next off season,
well,
bro.
the excuse
It'd be
made.
very hard to contend for a championship this year. It's too
Well,
much turnover.
no, I don't see that won't work either because even though you're not going bare bone. Now you losing BI, but you're losing BI to a trade that should improve the team. If you play it right, you can get two positions for the cost of one. You really could. And even if you trade a reserve, whether it be Larry Nance or Dyson Daniels, you should be able to accomplish with a trade of BI to a Cleveland or an Atlanta. You should be able to accomplish two starters for the price of one, point guard and center. So in both of these teams have players that the Pelicans want. David Griffin is going to swing for the fences. That's one thing that he is. You can't. I can't take that away from him. He's a micromanager and he's wants too much credit, but he's a guy that will swing for the fences. So look for him to try to do the Trey Young thing. And if the Trey Young thing falls apart, look at him looking at Cleveland with Jared Allen. They're gonna go back to the teams they like, perhaps with Darius Garland. And if that
Hmm.
don't work out, DC start looking at DC's narrative about Detroit. Well, what they can get, they ain't gonna give up Cade Cunningham, but DC likes Jalen Durant, the Jalen's. He likes the Jadens. He likes Ivy, and he likes Durant. So I mean, but anyway, I'm gonna turn it over to y'all. Lex, what do you think about
I
some of this?
mean, that's probably the least of. That's my last trade package, man. that I want.
Like,
That's probably what we
look,
gonna wind up with though.
the organization is in a very peculiar situation because the thing is that, like we said earlier, started the rebuild along with the Thunder and the T Wolves around basically the same time. You can even throw Memphis up in there. Um, the thing is that you look at where we are and where the other teams are. And look, I know Memphis did not do well this year. Y'all, let me tell you something. Memphis is coming. They about to boot somebody out.
Hmm.
All right, y'all see my face? They about to boot somebody out. You know what I'm saying? For real. Like they do have a nice squad. And they found some gems, okay? They found some gems from the G League. Gigi, he's like what, 6'8"? Man, that dude does everything with that basketball.
How about our center? What's his name
Yeah.
what's his name?
Um, Jemison. Yeah.
Jemison,
Trey
Yeah.
Jamison. Yeah,
Trey
he's
Jemison.
still over there
They
too.
they gave him an opportunity. Yeah, they're gonna keep him. His
But
energy
do
and
they
hustle,
still
like
have that Xavier? What is Xavier Tillman? They still
no,
got
he
him
got
too.
traded to the
He
Boston
gone.
Celtics.
He gone. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
wonder
he went
why,
to
huh? Trey Jamison.
yeah. But look, they found in when they were in despair, okay? They found gems during that time. They were like, okay, this is a tryout. Who wants to join the team? who wants to join the team, and they got that. They found two guys that are very promising. And let me tell you something, they are two dangerous guys. When you put those guys next to Triple J, what's the sniper's name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. In the backcourt with
Well,
Ja.
Bane,
Bane, yeah, him.
Desmond Bane.
Yeah. And you still got Smart. You still got D Rose. He hasn't retired. He can still give you some quality minutes, just not a whole lot at the same time. I mean, and then you still got a solid bench. Those dudes are coming, man. I mean, you look at this situation with the Pelicans, and it's like y'all need to, if you're gonna do something, because guess what? We're not really, obviously, Griff is not totally locked into rebuilding. This is more so retooling. It's retooling, like changing the core. That's a big deal. Now, let me get into that a little bit more. What does that really mean to change the core, to retool? What is it? What does all that stuff mean? What it means is, dog, we do not want players. We do not want you to trade players that are good in regular season. Okay? I'm going to say it again. We do not want to trade for players that are good in regular season. We need players that perform at a high level, that have proven to perform at a high level in the playoffs. If you go for the highest caliber of level of play, well, guess what you're going to get in regular season? Y'all see where I'm getting at? We don't just want anybody, okay? Now, look, I know trading for some of these guys, it sounds good. It's like, well, look, if we don't get this guy, this hey, getting somebody is good. Is it? Is it?
I don't know,
Going,
Lex. They're
going
gonna.
after Garland. Look, Garland is incredible during regular season.
He's an upgrade, Lex.
I know, but I'm telling you, I'm again going for, look, I anybody saw Trey Young, what he did with the Knicks? Dude went to the Western Conference Finals. Okay, now a lot of people say that was a fluke because they got past Sixers, they got past the Knicks, they went up against Boston, and let me tell you something, they weren't no pushovers. They fought, even though they didn't have the weapons that all those other teams had. Everybody was looking at them like they shouldn't have gotten to where they were, but they did. You see what I'm talking about? That's what this team needs. If you're retooling, if you're just trying to put somebody with Zion, we want him to grow with Zion. No. No. Are we retooling or are we rebuilding? What are you trying to do? And that's why I keep asking that question. I know that going after Garland, it's an
I'll say
upgrade.
retooling. They're retooling. Now,
Okay,
is it retooling though? If you adding, because my thought process is they're looking for a point guard and a center. They've
yeah.
been looking for a center all last year. Now there's two teams. Like I said,
Mhm.
there's two teams that they're serious about in discussions because they're players that they believe
Mhm.
fits what they're doing. So this is a little different than last year. The Pelicans have a group of players that they want. Jared Allen is a player that I really do think that they want. If they
Yeah.
can package something where they can get Darius Garland, because it works out because Cleveland is not going to keep Darius Garland and Spider Mitchell.
Because I would love to have Darius Garland and Jared Allen, but for Dice, Larry Nance, Ingram, and some picks, I don't know if that can happen. What does a guy like Jared Allen command to be removed from Cleveland? Because Cleveland has been dangling Jared Allen on the trading block for like the last 2 years, man.
Yeah, you know why, right?
What exactly are they looking for? Are they
Injury.
expecting to get in a return from it? He's their most consistent player. He doesn't get injured. He plays a lot. Now he had this thing where I guess they whatever happened in playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Darius Garland and Brandon Ingram's contracts match up. Uh, the trade thing, I know you like Trey Lex, but I'm not even really sure if Atlanta is really trading him or not. Like all of that's still vague.
I mean, I
Decent.
Could they be looking to move DeJounte Murray in the number one pick to get a
Now,
superstar?
what I'm doing, in terms of what I'm looking at with the team, what I'm hearing, I've been researching it behind Atlanta and Cleveland because it seems like the most likely places where if the Pelicans are serious about contending and getting team to the next level, Darius Garland and Jared Allen makes sense, and Trey Young or maybe not Clint Capella, maybe the backup center. I can't pronounce his
Aganku, Aganku.
name. Agankwo. Those guys. Now the Pelicans have interest in both those guys, but from what I'm hearing from Atlanta side, they're not going to trade both of them. It's going to either be one or the other. Either it's going to be Trey gets traded or it'll be DeJounte Murray that gets traded. That's what I'm hearing. What's up, fam? This is Big Q from PPR. Thank y'all for watching. Please feel free to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the share button. Hit all the notification buttons. And make sure you follow us here every week as we talk about all things Pelicans. Much love. Go Pels.